home sweet home. So this is a house that we're checking out, and it has a lot of issues here, and I'm more than happy to show you all of them. But this is going to give you a good idea from a realistic point of view as far as the types of things that you can see when you are flipping homes and essentially being the janitor of the economy. So so come along, I'll show you all the fun things that we can look at here. So we're gonna go, and I'll be doing a lot of this with like a flashlight, so apologies if you can't see it super well, but we'll do our best here. So a few things in this room to start us off on the grand tour is you have peeling floor. So you can see here that the laminate stick next to the water pipe, that's at foot level, which is crazy because if you kick it, then you're gonna have a water leak. That's the type of stuff that we want to fix. This is, again, really common sense stuff. So if you just have a few brain cells, you can figure out the right way to do it. And when you find contractors, you want them to tell you the type of stuff that they're going to do, because typically you want to just say, hey, contractor, make it do. Just make it make sense, right? So get somebody that can, answer the phone on time, seem semi-professional, but they don't have to be the world-class contractor, because then they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. You just need somebody that knows what to fix. That's all pretty common sense. So we have this. I wonder what's behind it. Probably a hole. So we're going to go fix that, right? Okay, what's the next step? Well, we have a lot of wood in here, and we're going to have a lot of issues that we're going to have to fix. So after we've painted it, or after we fix it, then we're going to want to go paint it. So that's the type of common sense stuff. And you're just going to hand that off to a contractor and say, give me a quote to make it all make sense. However, it is ideal if you can take a look at some photos and then try to figure out a few things like that. Obviously, we're here in person because we want to do a good job. You can see underneath, we have some tile. So what you can do, and it's a little bit of a lazy fix, but this isn't like the Ritz of properties, is you can peel up the laminate and then just put on LVP, which is laminate vinyl plank or luxury vinyl plank, depending on what type you're getting. And your luxury vinyl plank is going to be like that 3mm to 5mm thick, usually made out of recycled plastic. And that's like the best standard you can use in all homes. So I even put that in my home, and I don't live in like a Class B type home. So it's a really good product because it's like scratch resistant. All right, so the next thing here that we're going to be looking at is, again, in the spirit of common sense. If you look directly up here, then you'll actually notice there is the edge of a drywall layer that came off. So what looks like what happened is the first time this house was built in like the 1950s, then the ceiling texture was whatever this is, and then the new time that they came in, they started drywalling over, but it looks like they just stopped partway through. So that's, again, pretty common sense. Fix the drywall, make it make sense in that regard. Out back here, you can see we got some extrusion issues, or intrusion issues rather. So you can actually see the outside and you can feel the breeze. And if you even get in there, you can see like literally how like a rat can basically crawl into the house. That's crazy. So we're going to fix that, obviously, and making sure you have a contractor that has a rough idea on how to do it. This isn't structural stuff, most likely. It's probably just that it's not like seamed together correctly. So just, again, contractors that make sense are going to be good. And then I'll show you beyond whatever crackhead built this stuff. And then actually, if you want to back up here so we can get a really good view of their amazing artwork, is they seem like they were trying to build some kind of bar thing out of this. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's obviously trash and that's going to go. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, you're clearly not dissuaded by trashy looking properties, but check out some of the decals we got here. So we got #blood, a bunch of other random things here. So yeah, that's fun. So we have a broken window actually over here, which is clearly where these knuckleheads got in here, right? Just go straight to the outside. So those are types of things that we want to do in order to fix. So moving on to the kitchen here. I don't know if you notice anything missing, so go ahead and pause the video and let me know if you see if there's anything missing. So you'll probably notice there's missing a kitchen in the kitchen. So that's the type of common sense things we'll do, is rip all this out, whatever the hell is in here, and then just simply redo it. I would recommend using the existing plumbing structures, and the existing electrical is already there. By the way, before you start doing really heavy stuff, make sure to check your local permitting. This property here is located in the state of Georgia, and this is in Bibb County. So permitting is a little looser than maybe some other counties. So before you just jump into this stuff and think you don't have to run anything by the county, make sure you do your homework, because you don't want to be doing unpermitted renovations. But there's a lot of stuff you can get away with without having to do a permit. Typically, the rule of thumb is if you are reconfiguring your kitchen or you're reconfiguring a room, then you do have to typically get it permitted just to make sure it's done in a safe manner. So an example would be, if we look at this is an outlet. And if this is a sink, that's far too close for an outlet to be there without being a special type of plug, which is the kind that shuts off basically if it gets water in the outlet. So just make sure to look up for your code enforcement policies for your local county. So again, just pointing out the obvious stuff here. That's probably like our HVAC closet, if I was going to guess, or not our HVAC, or hot water. So we got a nice clean hot water tank. It's amazing the kids or whatever broke in here. They didn't steal that, honestly. But yeah, just really common sense stuff for the most part. Always look for roof issues. This particular property's got a lot of roof issues. So we have some sagging over here. We got some mold spots over here. It looks like actually, I don't know, oil that they flung up into the ceiling and just never cleaned. So tenants are fun. They always take care of stuff. So, and then switching over here to the bathroom, and we got a few things here. So the edge down here, you can see is not, it's not set up in a manner that's going to prevent further water intrusion. So it's not sealed correctly. So some stuff that you'd want to do here is probably rip out all 3 panels of the wall. And actually, if you get this right here, you'll see there's like this weird sagging stuff off the wall. That's not cool. So we're going to go rip that off and figure out what's going on. So we have about 6 different kinds of flooring here, and at different levels too. So that's a trip hazard. So you'd want to probably rip all this up and then just redo it so it's all flat and it's all LVP. Again, LVP is not like by a particular company. It's just a type of product that is definitely the way to go nowadays. Maybe in 2030, they'll have something different. But for the 2020s, that is all the rage, and that is the right way to right way to do things. Even though we have all this nice hardwood, clearly it's not all that nice because it's just getting a bunch of paint thrown on it. So you can just LVP right over it is the lazy man's way to do it. But as long as the flooring's flat, it really doesn't matter. So this is the type of stuff that requires a correct common sense approach, not from I want this to be squeaky clean, but it's just functionally makes sense actually to just throw flooring on top of flooring as long as the original flooring is fine. Yeah, not a whole lot else in here. You can figure out that there's no light fixture. Yeah, duh. Obviously, you got to fix that. Coming on over into this room, I don't know if you noticed, but that's not how you run your internet cables, right? So they just literally plug this thing. They just ran it right through the wall, which is nuts. So you would want to call the internet company and get it done correctly. Near baseboards in particular, you always want to look for any issues when somebody might have kicked in something, because that can be an intrusion for like a mouse or something. And mice can, or like any kind of rodent can squeeze through literally anything that's, I believe, the size of their head. So if their head can fit through it, then they'll be good. All right, and then just flipping back around, this is a floor HVAC grate. These are really trashy, but they did like that in the 1950s. So what you probably want to do here, honestly, is you probably want to blow it out, and then now that I think about it, I think you could maybe even paint it to make it look clean, as long as it's fireproof paint. And you'd want to definitely talk to your local HVAC guy if you're going to do something like that. I haven't painted them. I'm just now realizing it would actually look kind of clean if you painted it, but probably do it something that's not going to look like it's dirty. So anyway, in summary, every single surface here is gross and dirty, and that's the job. So just get used to it. This is the reason why Wall Street doesn't like these kind of homes. They want to just deal with stuff that's nice and cash flowing. But if we fix this one up, this one we bought for $42,000, fixed up, it's probably about $150,000. I would say, looking at everything, it's probably maybe 25 to 45, depending on what types of contractors you use. And if you're saying there's no way that's real, you got to remember we're in a different county than you are probably. And I've also done a lot of flips, so I have a little better idea as far as what it can actually cost, functionally speaking, depending on who we end up hiring. So So yeah, there's not a whole lot of other things other than, you know, bugs and all the fun things, but you definitely got to be able to just deal with the gross stuff and have a common sense sort of make things clean. So if this is the type of stuff you are interested in getting involved in, then do definitely go check out the free Discord community in the link in the description below, because this is presaling.com. I'm showing you everything you need to know and everything you need. I'm giving it away for free prior to you closing, because I want you to go close a lot of stuff. And here's why: is if you're familiar with Alex Ramosi, his whole business model is give excessive value first so that in the future you will want to partner with him. I'm just doing the same thing for real estate. So if I can make you $1 million first and you understand that I'm legitimate, then you're going to say, hey, you know what? For my 100th unit or whatever, let's go work with John. And then both of us are going to be able to go buy stuff like this for $0 down. But managing this whole project and managing hundreds of rental units is a lot of work. So I actually am constantly looking for people to work with that are really good operators and are really just have a lot of common sense. Again, you can figure out how much common sense stuff is needed here, but common sense is not so common. So if you think that you do match that bill, so to speak, definitely make sure to check out the community. Definitely learn as much as you can. I want to get you there for free. Yes, we're launching a few paid things in order to get people there even faster. And actually, for properties like this, we've already gotten dozen people to go be landlords at over $1 million. Over $1 million assets under management within their first year. And actually, 6 of my partners have over 100 units for $0 out of pocket. So I've bought about 450 plus units, 0 down out of pocket. And I definitely want to make sure that I am continuing to provide this education as much as I can for free. I know I don't have millions and millions of subscribers, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm here for quality. And if you've literally made it to this point in the video, that is a very clear sign that that is for you. So you are that type of person. Make sure to join the link in the description below. And I would love to see you at our next community event. So hopefully you found this helpful, and it will maybe curb your, if you were too optimistic in advance, perhaps it'll curb that and make it a little bit more realistic to make it